What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be sharing the new fastest way to get around the map without the G-Slide, because as you guys may or may not know, the G-Slide is very likely going to be removed in the next title update, which is coming to PS4 this week coming up. We don't know when that title update is going to be coming to Xbox and PC. It might not be until the DLC launches for them, which is a month down the road, but they may also get that title update near the same time as PS4, and then the DLC will just be launched separately. I'm not too sure on this, I don't have any confirmation, but just know the G-Slide is going to be removed, and therefore I wanted to share the new ways to move around the map as fast as possible. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get right into the testing here. I use the same area of the metro here because it's a nice straight flat area to do all my testing, and our baseline test where I just sprinted from point A to point B was 7.1 seconds, or just over 7.1 seconds. Next, I tested a little maneuver that I've been hearing about in the community. I've seen it posted on Reddit or on Twitter. I've seen some YouTube videos. I don't even know where the original source of this is, but this little method is slide, jump, and then slide. By doing this, you can apparently maintain your momentum quite effectively as you keep sprinting, and you also get to use up your boost meter, which does launch you forward a little bit. And this definitely does save you a little bit of time. If you do one of these maneuvers, it will save you about 450 milliseconds. The next maneuver I tested, this was actually suggested to me in my G-Slide video. I hadn't even thought about this method, but somebody had said, hey, you should try out this, which is slide, double tap the Y button, or triangle on PS4, basically your swap weapon button, which cancels out your slide recovery animation, and then slide again, and then double tap Y or triangle again, to once again cancel that animation up. This will use your entire boost meter by doing two of these slides, and if you just do this one maneuver, which involves the two slides and the two slide recoveries, it will save you around 650 milliseconds, which is very, very good. It's not quite as good as the G-Slide, but it's still quite good. So keep in mind, both of these just consider that you're doing one maneuver, which uses up your entire boost meter, and it doesn't really factor in regenerating your boost meter. So when I tested the first method of slide, jump, slide, and I let myself regenerate my boost meter without Afterburner, keep in mind this is all without Afterburner for now, we will look at that in a little bit. If I did that throughout this distance, I saved myself a total of 951 milliseconds, which is pretty much exactly what we'd expect based on our initial testing. We gain about 467 milliseconds every time we do this maneuver, as long as we start from full boost. Now, the next thing I did with this maneuver is I didn't let myself regenerate. I just slid, jumped, slid, jumped, slid, jumped, and I just kept going. Even though my meter was completely depleted, I just kept going with it, and that actually saved me a little bit more time. I made it there about 100 milliseconds faster than when I let myself regenerate. So when you're using this particular maneuver, it is best to just keep going with it, even if your meter is completely depleted. Now, I did the same testing for the second technique, which is slide, YY, slide, YY, and I let myself first regenerate, so I was able to get two of those maneuvers in within this distance, and as you'd expect, it saved us a total of 1268 milliseconds, which is actually the fastest time I was able to accomplish without Afterburner on this distance without a G-Slide. And this is exactly what we would expect if we look at our initial testing. It's just double that 654 milliseconds, it's pretty much double that. And there you go, that's our time that we get. Now, when I didn't let myself regenerate, and I just slid YY, and I just keep doing that without letting myself regenerate at all, it took me a total of 6.139 seconds, which was actually a little bit slower than when I did let myself regenerate. So the absolute fastest way to get from point A to point B, based on the techniques that I know about, is to slide YY, let yourself regenerate, and then just do that again. You have to let yourself regenerate though, or you aren't getting the full benefit from this. So finally, I decided to test these maneuvers with Afterburner, which allows you to replenish your boost meter a lot faster. And with this, when I did the first technique where I just slid, jumped, and I did that non-stop all the way till the end, I was able to close that distance in 5.589 seconds. So about a second and a half faster than our baseline, and that was definitely faster than when we didn't have Afterburner as well, which is kind of what we'd expect. So that's quite fast if you use this method, but I also tested the other method of slide YY, and doing that over and over again. And if you do this with Afterburner on, throughout this distance, you actually will never run out of boost, which is pretty cool. And this actually got me there in a total of just over 5.5 seconds, which is the absolute fastest time that I was able to get from point A to point B on this map without using the G-Slide. For those that are interested, when I did do the testing on the G-Slide, this is actually only about 200 milliseconds slower than when I was using the G-Slide to cover this same distance. So as you can see, this particular method is almost as effective as the G-Slide is for getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. So just to conclude, the fastest way that I was able to find to get around the map without a G-Slide is to slide, double tap your swap weapon button as you're coming out of that slide, and then slide again, and then double tap that swap weapon button. Let your boost meter recover if you're not using Afterburner, and then do it again. If you don't let yourself recover, you're not taking full advantage of it, and if you are using Afterburner, then you don't have to let yourself recover with that because you'll actually recover between slides fast enough with the Afterburner perk. If you use this method, it's almost as effective as the G-Slide, and it will get you from point A to point B potentially several seconds faster depending on the distance that you plan on covering. So I'd like to know in the comment section below, do you have any other techniques that can get you from point A to point B faster without using a G-Slide? I'd definitely like to hear in the comment section below, and I'm definitely willing to test some of these techniques. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.